The Miami Hurricanes 2020 football schedule has officially been announced, and guess what, Canes fans? It only has one bye week. What's going on, Canes fans? Now, before we dive into this one, make sure that you click the subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already to stay up to date with Miami Hurricanes football all year long. So yes, we did already know our opponents for the 2020 season, but we didn't know exact dates for the games. But good news, the dates are officially here, so you can go ahead and put in that request at work to be off, book your hotels, book your plane tickets. Let's get ready. Now, just keep in mind that this is not a prediction video, so I'm not going to go through and predict wins and losses. To be honest, it's really too early for that. Now, that will come in time. In later videos and live streams later on down the road, we will dive into predictions, but that's not what this video is for. And I'm really not even going to dive in too deep talking about each opponent, but we are going to take a look at the opponent's record from the 2019 season and the last time that we played them, what the outcome was. But please feel free to discuss the matchups down in the comment section below. If you're comfortable with it, you could give a prediction. You could talk about an opponent that you're really worried about, an opponent that you think is going to be a breeze. Let's just talk about the 2020 schedule. So I'm going to put a graphic image up on the screen that I put together in Photoshop as we discuss the 2020 schedule. Feel free to screenshot this. Maybe you could use it to refer back to later. But let's take a look. So as you can see, there's a lot of information here. This is the entire schedule. I'm going to put a little arrow beside each week as we briefly talk about it. So week 1, September 5th, we are, of course, taking on Temple at home. Temple in 2019 finished 8-5, and the last time we played Temple was back in 2005 when we beat them 34-3. Now, this matchup is kind of funny, right? Funny maybe is the wrong word for it, but this was going to be Manny Diaz's return to Hard Rock. However, of course, he came back to Miami and became the head coach there, so it's going to be a real interesting game. And we also got Quincy Roche, the graduate transfer from Temple as well. So that's going to be a pretty big-time game. Next up, week 2 on September 12th, we're taking on Wagner at home. Wagner 1-11. We've never played them in the past. Week 3, September 19th, we're taking on UAB at home. UAB is going to be a real interesting game. They've been improving, looking better and better. 9-5 in 2019. We have also never faced UAB. That's going to be a real interesting opponent. Week 4, September 26th. This is the game that a lot of Canes fans have circled on their calendar. Michigan State away. Last season, Michigan State was 7-6, but a lot of people have stated this isn't no cupcake team that we're going to be playing. Now, we did play them way back in 1989 where we won 26-20. October 3rd, we'll be taking on Pittsburgh at Hard Rock. Pittsburgh last year was 8-5. We did beat them in 2019, just barely 16-12. Then next up, October 9th, we'll be taking on Wake Forest away. The big key to this game is that it is a Friday night. Wake Forest is 8-5, and we played them last in 2013 where we beat them 24-21. So that was a close 3-point game, but that was way back in 2013. I'm not a fan of Friday night games. I don't like the short week to prepare. Also, Wake Forest could potentially be a pretty tough opponent, so we'll see what happens. And then week 7 is our one and only bye week, and I feel like the placement on this is perfect. Thank goodness there's not more than one in the 2020 season because I don't like 2 or 3 bye weeks. I feel like you kind of get in a rhythm and a routine, and multiple bye weeks just kind of kills that. One is fine. You need some time to rest and relax and recover, but more than one is kind of pushing it. So that gives us an extra week to prepare for the October 24th game against North Carolina at Hard Rock Stadium. North Carolina did finish 7-6 in 2019. We did take a big fat L to North Carolina in 2019, 28-25. And then week 9, we face Virginia October 31st, Halloween night, an away game. Is this maybe the game that we break out the Miami Knights? We break out the black uniform combo? I think it would be fitting for Halloween night. Some people think that sounds silly, but I think it would really get the players pumped up. I think the fans that travel to this game would be pumped up for it. I think it's a good idea. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. But Virginia, we're very familiar with them. They finished 9-5 in 2019. I had a rough end to their season. We did beat them 17-9. And then we've got Week 10, November 7th, big in-state rivalry game. As always, Florida State at home this year, Hard Rock Stadium. I'm going to try my best to make it to that game. I love the feeling, the atmosphere to this rivalry game. It's always a good time. Florida State 6-7 in 2019. Of course, they've got a new head coach. How are they going to look in 2020? I don't know. We're going to see. We did beat them last year 27-10. Let's see if we can keep the win streak alive. Now we're coming up on the tail end of the season. The last 3 games, November 14th, Virginia Tech. That is an away game. In the middle of November, it's probably going to be cold up there in Virginia. That could be bad. Virginia Tech was 8-5 in 2019, and of course we did take that loss in overtime, 42-35 this last season. November 21st, we're going to face Georgia Tech, also an away game. They finished 3-9 in 2019, and we did lose to them. However, 28-21. And coming up finally to wrap up the regular season, Week 13, November 28th, we'll be facing Duke at Hard Rock Stadium. I like that we end the season on a home game. It gives us one last opportunity to pack the rock and send the seniors out with a bang. Duke finished 5-7, and in 2019, we did also take a big fat L to Duke, 27-17. So that's it, Canes fans, for the 2020 Miami Hurricanes football schedule. Of course, times have not been announced yet, but we do have exact dates. As I said, it's an opportunity to go ahead and try to plan ahead and book things and prepare with your job, with requesting time off and whatnot. I'm going to try my best to go to at least 2 games, but I definitely want to go to the Florida State game. This is, technically speaking, one of the easier schedules we've had in quite some time. Could that be a good thing? Maybe. Could it be a bad thing? It very well also could be a bad thing. So it depends on how the season goes. But again, it's too early for me to personally give any predictions because we've got a lot of new faces, a lot of new players, a lot of new staff, lots of new changes taking place. So I kind of need to see some spring and some summer ball, and then I'll feel comfortable giving some predictions on these games. But as I said, please discuss them down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Screenshot the schedule. That way you can use it later, post it places. But I'm pretty pumped and excited either way. People really roasted me in the De'Aaron King video because they were like, Coop, how can you be pumped after the outcome of the 2019 season? I'm the hype guy. You know, I still get pumped about Miami Hurricanes football. I am being cautiously optimistic, though. I want to go ahead and put it out there, and I thought that I was being very vocal about that already in all of my past videos. But I'm being cautiously optimistic for the 2020 season. After the pitiful performance from 2019, I understand we're making some changes, but it's usually not just like that, right? It's not just a flip of a switch most of the time. So we're going to see. All right, I'm still excited about the 2020 season, but we've got a lot of work to do and a lot more changes still need to be made. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Remember, we are all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.